Have you ever had a day that started off great and then all of a sudden it turned upside down on you? That's what happened to me yesterday. It's Saturday morning and I'm heading into the weekend and I'm very proud of myself because I didn't lose my cool. Yesterday was just one comedy of errors after another, and I'm going to tell you about it now. Well, the day started off as usual. I'm always up by 6 or 6:30, have my coffee, go outside, and it was a beautiful day. There were blue skies, clouds there. So I thought, okay, I'll put Moosey's cushions out and he can go out. I think the cat will like to go out and spend the day. And of course, Shamu goes to the door now, looks around, decides what he wants to do, and either walks out, looks up at me, or turns around and comes back in. He's really getting to be a slug, but I can understand it because he's in his golden years too. But I went outside and it was cold, but it was nice. So I thought, okay, I have some plants that I better bring in because either you leave them out when the sun shines there, or if it's too cold, you have to bring them in. So I've been doing this in, out with the plants. In, out with Moosey, in, out with the cat. I thought, okay, I'm going to make some headway today. And guess what I started to do? I went into my closet and I started gathering up sweaters. And you know how I love my sweaters. And I thought, well, if winter is coming to an end, it's almost spring, but doesn't spring start on March 21st? I think it does. And I thought, well, maybe I'll start putting some sweaters away. So I gathered them all up, put them on the bed, and then I had some other things that I thought, I don't need these anymore. I'll get these ready for a purge to go. And I was really going great. And the lights went out overhead. I think you've seen our bed, and over the bed, right over the bed, is a big fan with these lights all the way around. I think I've told you that our little cottage here is an adobe with brick walls a foot thick. So there's not too much electricity running in those walls. There's not very many little outlets here, and we have low light everywhere, which, as you know, and you grow older, you need light. You need your specs and you need some light. So Moosey went out. I'm trying to see if I have one of my flashlights here. He found on Amazon these fabulous little small lights that give great big light. They're flashlights. And he bought me four. One I keep here in this area for my filming and my makeup, etc. One I keep in the closet so I can see what I'm looking for in the morning. We do have lights, but they're just not bright enough. One next to my bed so that I can read and find things when they drop on the floor, and one in the kitchen so that I can shine some light on recipes or anything that I need to read. Now, I do have, I call it a clicker, but it's a remote. And I do have a remote that I use from the side of the bed. There's no long hanging chains to pull the lights or the fan on because it's over the bed. And I used to be able to, a couple of years ago, get up on the bed if something went wrong with the remote and pull the chains, but not anymore. That I leave to the grandsons. Well, I couldn't wait for any grandsons to come over. I needed light. There I was in almost darkness. We do have two lights next to the bed, but they're not enough to be able to see what I'm doing. So I went outside. Moosey said, let me see it. So I showed him the thing. He took the battery out. He tried to click it. He said, nope, the battery's dead. You need a new battery. And he took the battery out. It was one of these teeny tiny little, tinier than my little finger. Oh, just about it, not even an inch long. I knew once before that I had to do that, but they're very hard to find, those little batteries. So I said, I'll just go down to CVS and get a battery. Well, I did. Went down, and they have an end cap, as they call them, with batteries on both sides, and then in the end. They start off with the big fat ones at the top, and then you have to keep going down with your knees, and you keep going down and down and down. Well, I got to a point where I couldn't squat, I couldn't get down, but down on the bottom were the tiny ones, or those little round ones. Well, I couldn't get down there, and I tried bending, which I'm pretty flexible if I bend from my waist, but at that point, a lot was gone. It was a wreck. So I thought, oh, where do I go now? What am I going to do? So After I got up and kind of straightened out from trying to bend and squat, I thought that's it. I guess I have to go to Walmart or Best Buy or someplace. I then went to the pharmacy. So I had to pick up some pills for Moosey. They'd been calling me for a couple of days, and he needed these pills. So I went up to the pharmacy, and I was about third in line, and I got up to the front. I said, "Do you have I need my prescriptions for my husband." He gave him his name and his address. He said, "Oh, they've been put back." I said, "Oh no, they even called me just last night. They've been calling a couple times." He said, "Well, that's why, ma'am. You didn't come in time." So he said, "Go over to that window, but you have to reorder them there." I said, "Can I just tell you here and reorder them?" "No, he has to go to that window and reorder them." So he said, "But we're almost closing for lunch now. CVS closes for lunch now." So I walked over 20 feet to the window that says reorder, and the big partition was down. So I thought, I was very proud of myself. I didn't get upset. I said, "Oh well, I'll just have to do it tomorrow." I felt kind of like Scarlett O'Hara at this point. Things were just not going my way, but I was okay. But on the way out, I just happened to ask the lady up front at the checkout, "By the way, do you carry batteries any other place than in that end cap down there in the front and the back?" And she said, "No, that's it." I said, "Oh." She said, "What were you looking for?" She said, "We have all kinds of batteries." I said, "Well, this one is for an overhead light fan remote, and it's a teeny tiny battery, and I tried to get all the way down to the bottom, and I went down, and then I could hardly get up again." And she said, "Come on, I'll take you over there and I'll look." Well, she took me over and she looked all over, and she was able to bend down in a squat, and she took a card off, and she said, "Is this the right size?" Well, I had the battery with me, so I compared it, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" But theirs were Duracells, and mine was Evergreen or Ever Energizer, and so she said, "This is number so and so," and they don't put anything on the tiny little batteries. There's no room anyway to write anything, but there were numbers that said A23. And I said, "Does it say that?" She said, "No, it's another number on here." So I said, "Let me see the card." And I looked, and there's two batteries in there, and they were like $12.99 for two teeny tiny little batteries. And I looked on the card, and then it also says compatible A23. Oh, I said, "Maybe this is it." "Oh," she said, "maybe it is." So she said, "Well, if it doesn't fit, you can return it." So I took the card up to the front. I said, "You know what? I have my remote right here. I'm going to try it if it's okay. Would you like to carefully open it?" Which she did. I took the battery, put it in, pushed, no red light. I thought, "Oh, darn it. It's not the battery. It's something to do with the lighting in the house. And, that's a big problem. It's not a little simple problem." But then I said, maybe I put the battery in wrong. So I switched it around, put it in, closed it up, pushed it, and guess what? The little red light went on. Hallelujah. I thought, "Oh my gosh, this is the problem. Oh, Moosey will be so happy to hear this." So I left there, no pills in my hand, but I left with a red light on a remote that was working now, and an extra battery that I brought home and put in an envelope so I wouldn't lose it. And off I went. Then, well, now, as you can tell, this is a storytelling day. I hope it's a comedy for you. Don't worry about me because I am really fine. I'm not stressed. I've handled everything. And I've come to the conclusion in life that if things aren't going right on a certain day, and life is all about the simple little things, but the simple little things were the things that were going wrong. I'm not stressed, believe it or not. I took a stress test, one of those things that pops up on and I'm not stressed. Well, have you had enough, or do you want to hear some more? Because there is some more to the day. Oh, okay. I'm on a roll here, so I might as well keep going. Well, I came home, but as I was making the turn to go up the road to our hillside, I thought, aha, Dell, right there on the corner. And his big lights were flashing at me. And I thought, oh, this is what we need right now. We need to just sit down and enjoy some of the simple things of life, which Moosey and I are enjoying some little fast food car picnics. So I drove into Dell, and lo and behold, would you believe that they have started their scrumptious battered shrimp tacos, 2 for $6, because Lent started, and they run them all during Lent, and that's when I really chow down on them. So I thought, oh, that's just what we need. So I ordered 2 orders, 2 for Moosey, 2 for me, and 2 lemonades. Got in the car, and I thought, well, you know, this is going to help our day. We're going to feel good. By this time, it's about, I'd say 1:30, quarter to 2. And you know, sometimes when we eat some lunch, I've told you before, we pretty much eat 1 meal a day, except for Moosey, who has cereal, etc. in the morning. And usually if we have some lunch like that, even at 1:30 or 2, we aren't hungry for supper. And you know, maybe we'll have a snack or something at night, but I don't cook at night. And I thought, wow, this is twofold good. I probably won't have to cook tonight because Moosey won't be hungry. Well, guess who got hungry? But that's another story. It wasn't Moosey. So I came home. Oh, he was delighted. But by this time, he was in the house. And I said, why'd you go inside? It was such a beautiful day. You know, the birds were out, the sun. He said, because it's freezing out there. Well, it was. And that's why I had to bring the plants in. And guess who else was in the house? Or about ready to walk in when I pulled up. And I thought, Shemu, please stay outside and get some vitamin D. Everything will be fine. And he looks up at me. He goes in. And as I'm walking over to Moosey, talking to him, the cat comes in. Shemu walks in, walks right to his litter box, looks up at me. I said, what? You're not going to do it, are you? He has gotten into a habit of being out all day long and not doing his business out there. When he walks in, he goes straight to the litter box and does his business there. Go figure. You know, he's got to have a little sympathy for me because sometimes you got to empty that little box before Aiden arrives, and he doesn't come every day. And that's hard for me to reach. I tried one day. It's under the table way, way, way toward that window that I'm looking at. And sometimes I just can't get in there. I try and use a grab bar or something, but it's too heavy. So, but anyway, that's the cat now. Poor guy. He's really crazy. So I thought, well, let's just calm down. I'm still not upset. Served Moosey his lovely lunch. And I thought, I'm going into my happy place. Even though I have a dozen sweaters sitting on the end of the bed, I somehow got in the sweaters were piled this high. I thought, well, I'll finish that job later. Let there be light. And there it is. We're in business again. I got ready. Took my lime and squeezed it on the shrimp and got all ready. And all of a sudden we heard boom, 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 boom. Moosey says, what's that? I said, I don't know. I think it's thunder. Well, we had one of these crazy outbursts of rain. Now, thank heavens Moosey was inside, but guess what was sitting outside? The cushions. So he said, oh, my cushions, it's pouring rain. And we could hear it on the roof. We have those tiles up on the roof, and it was raining so hard. It was just like a sudden burst of rain that you could hear it pouring, pouring, pouring down. And Moosey says, oh, my cushions. What did that mean? Was I supposed to run out in the rain and get those cushions? And I said, you know what? The cushions are staying. I'm staying. I'll get them tomorrow. Once again, I was so proud of myself, I couldn't believe it. Well, I sat there and I thoroughly enjoyed my lunch as it continued to pour for at least an hour or two. The cushions, whatever else was out there, whatever. I'm kind of getting tired pulling tarps off, putting them on. I'm not complaining about the rain. It's just the weather has been so inconsistent, let me say, and it does involve, since I do have my stuff out in tubs, I do need tarps to cover stuff up. I leave cushions out. Sometimes I put them in the back of the car, especially the ones that are close to Moosey's chair and my chair, because rather than running in and out of the shed with piles of cushions. Now, all the cushions that belong on the patio, those chairs, those have been stored in the shed because we aren't using the patio right now. I don't know why I call it patio because the cover's gone. That blew off in the wind, but I did enjoy my lunch, and so did Moosey. Now for some good news. I can move my neck. The crink is pretty much gone. Still a teeny bit left there, but I think I'm okay. And I thank you all for your suggestions as to how to get rid of this. And you know, the castor oil that I have bragged about that has fixed my shoulders. And by the way, I don't get those shoulder pains anymore. And it's funny how things are cyclical in a way, either monthly or according to the weather or what, I don't know, but I'm not complaining. But I did put some castor oil on, and thank heavens, everything's gone there. So today, I woke up this morning nice and early once again, and Moosey said he woke up about the time I was bustling around. He said, I think I'm going to go out today. I said, oh, good. I'll get the extra set of dry cushions that are still in the car, and I'll switch them out with the ones that are sitting on your chair soaking wet, because I've already been out there. He said, oh, I forgot that. I said, it's okay. So since it's Saturday, I did make some nice eggs. I had nice fresh eggs from the Colleen's chicken coop and those nice ladies who just keep laying eggs. So I did make up some eggs, and I put some of that rye bread that we bought at the German delicatessen in the toaster. I tell you, I just wasn't pleased with it. I think I told you that I've rescued it by making French toast with it. It's wonderful, makes wonderful French toast. When I do the French toast, I add in some really tiny chopped apples and cinnamon, and then I put the maple syrup on top, and they're fine as French toast. But trying to eat it as bread or toast, it's just too thin and, quite frankly, not tasty enough. So that was a boo-boo. There were 10 other types of loaves of rye bread I should have bought instead. But this morning, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby today because I know Hobby Lobby is closed on Sunday. And by the way, I slept really well last night, believe it or not, after that whole day. I got involved in watching some YouTube tutorials and videos of women doing something similar to what we're going to be doing with the trays and the decoupage of my blue and white faux china. I'm going to make some things that are going to look like that. And I watched them do transfer work on trays. I watched them do put beautiful things that you can buy in these sheets, and you use Mod Podge and paint. And I was so excited that this morning I decided I wanted to go to Hobby Lobby and see what I could get in the way of some tools to educate myself a little more. Because if I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing, I should know what I'm doing, but I really don't. There are women on YouTube who do wonderful things and are very knowledgeable about the transfers and the stencils and decoupaging and wonderful stuff. So I am re-excited about doing all that. And although I won't be doing it in this video, maybe the next video. So it's still early in the morning. I bet it's only 10. So, Moosey is outside in the sunshine. I did feed some of the bird feeders that were out for him because there's no fun sitting out there if the birds aren't out there. And Shamu is out, I hope, I think. And it's really sunny again. So here we are. However, the weather is still down in the high 50s and low 60s, but the sun is shining, so it helps. There's no wind. So it's a good day. I think next week we have 3 or 4 days of rain, but I'll manage with the in out stuff, that's for sure. Yesterday, I saw Colleen and Micah's puppy. Oh my goodness. He's about 3.5 months old now. I bet his legs are this long now, but he's skinny. And you know how he was such a plump puppy a month or two ago. He's growing like crazy. Colleen was outside and I walked up. I went out to do something in the late afternoon out there. And the puppy saw me and was going to run down. And Colleen doesn't want the puppy to be friendly with Shamu yet because I think she has one more shot to go and then she can be friends with Shamu. Keeping my fingers crossed, but we have not done the introduction yet with Duncan and Shamu. And he's so cute. I said, Colleen, he's so skinny. She said, he's growing like a weed and he eats like crazy. He can't eat enough. So she said, he's just growing too fast. And now you can see the long legs, but his paws are huge. And I know he's going to be a great big dog. So I hope that I can put a little picture of him on there. Maybe I'll try and take one today because Micah will be home with Colleen and I know they'll be around. Now, one of the things that I was going to do over the weekend, and if I do go out to Hobby Lobby and I get this edited and off to you nice and early today, maybe it'd be late today, but at least you'll get it today. I was going to stop by the Mexican market and treat Moosey and I. It's more shrimp. I didn't realize that we had the shrimp yesterday. But remember those Mexican cocktails with the shrimp all around the top, the ceviche at the bottom, and the tomato juice or V8 juice in between. I get the big giant ones, and it's a meal. You must get something like 20 shrimp on them. I think I've shown you. As a matter of fact, I took a video of a video where when Moosey was in the hospital when he first broke his neck. And I was on my way home and I found this market. And there was the first time I had one of these shrimp cocktails that was actually had V8 juice in it. And I suppose some people might want to add some vodka to it if they want, but I don't do that. But to me, it's just wonderful. And it's a meal, that's for sure. So Moosey hasn't had one yet. I've been telling him about them. So I thought, well, if I do get out to Hobby Lobby just to go and look at all these products and things that are available, I am getting addicted to this. You know me, I love to dig into a craft, and this might be it. I mean, she uses, this one particular woman does use a lot of, I notice a lot of people do wooden trays and boxes and things and put all these wonderful things on. But there is an art to this whole thing of stenciling and transferring, and they're all different mediums and exciting to look at, that's for sure. Right now, I have to tell you about my supper. Will you look at this? Now, the other foodie problem is that many of you are still asking for me to do the French onion soup recipe either again or for the first time. I tried to look back through my videos, and I know it's a hard thing to do, and I can't find when I did it. 2 women said, I think you did one a year ago, and it was more than a year ago, where I did reference him, but I didn't do it in whole. It was sort of a part, and the music was blaring too loud, and I didn't like the way it was presented, my French onion soup. So I thought maybe if I could take a video of that video and put that on, it would be great. But Moosey keeps asking for it anyway, so probably within a couple of days, we will be doing another French onion soup. And I will try and make it concise and short. It's not difficult. It's not long. It's one of those semi-homemade ones, but it's kind of a fun thing. And it's no big deal for me to video it while I'm making it for us. So I'll probably do that next week too. Some things with you, some French onion soup that you are gonna love. This is all you need for my very own semi-homemade French onion soup. Until they get just translucent. You don't want them to be hard. Nice and soft. And in this pot in the back, I have 2 cans ready to go. Well, I'm going to slice a couple of big slices off the top of the bread and maybe some extra to dunk. A lot of bread, but this is a special meal. Nice big open top soup bowls. I like these for the onion soup. So we're ready here. Doesn't take more than, honestly, this is a 10-minute meal. The onions are nice and soft. They're translucent. So I will get them ready. I put the onions in the soup down in the bottom of the bowl first. And now I will pour in some of the liquid. I like to put it all the way up to the top. I see we have some left over, maybe for a bowl from. I have some nice French bread, mozzarella cheese, float it on top. And now I'm ready to put this in the microwave until the cheese melts. And I have bread in the oven, extra slices for dunking, and we're ready for our French onion soup. Look at that. That French bread sinking down into the onion soup. And all the mozzarella cheese is melted on the top. A couple of extra pieces of bread to dunk.
Oh man, it's a mouthful.
Oh, I know. It's hot. Be careful. Don't scald your tongue.
That's good.
I mean, this is comfort food, isn't it? And so easy. 10 minutes, start to finish, and it's in your mouth.
Yep.
Good, huh?
Thank you.
Can't wait to dig into mine. Full of onions. That's the secret. And the mozzarella cheese and the big chunk of French bread, too, right? Yeah. Okay. Enjoy. Oh, Ruth, I have been saving 2 of your videos where you've talked about your hubby, who is a retired Marine Corps and a voracious reader, and some of the things he likes and you like. And I've been holding your videos to talk to Moosey about it. So I haven't overlooked those. We have to get to another video where we can discuss a couple of books. I think Teeny and 7 other people too. So don't think I forgot you, those people that added some books or had questions about books within the last week. I wrote them down and I just have to get to them with Moosey. So I hope you take this video with a grain of salt. It has proved to me that I have learned, and I should, with raising 6 kids, years and years, and all the traveling and moving and other things that you go through in a 65-year marriage with a big, big family, traveling, moving, difficulties with kids or whatever, you can expect things to go wrong all the time. And they did. There wasn't a perfect life. But we handled it. And I should have known that I can handle things. Some things, if the kids were sick or somebody was sick or something happened not good, I just get distraught. That really destroys me. When something with the kids or with Moosey or whatever happens, that's when I get upset. But I've gotten used to handling things that go wrong, especially these little things. That's what life is. And especially even as we grow older. Oh, I just thought of something else. That's so funny. Somehow, I don't know how, but a video showed up on my feed early this morning about 5:30. I got up and had my coffee at 5:30. And I was back in bed watching. It was a video of a woman trying to show older people how to put pants on, long pants. And I know there are ways, I've figured out ways. You don't stand on one foot anymore or you're going to fall. There's ways to get that one leg that doesn't lift up as high as the other leg in. But she had a contraption that you could build at home. It's not something you buy. It's not one of those grab bars. She was showing us how to make something with clamps that you clip on both sides of the pants, and then a rope that you go to the hardware store and buy. And on the end of the rope is kind of a rubber thing about a foot long where you put the rope through there or whatever. And then you put this on and you clip it on the pants and you pull them up. And I thought, if I have to put pants on that way from now on, I think I'm going to wear skirts the rest of my life. I just couldn't believe that. Have any of you gone that route? That's severely to put pants on. There must be an easier way than that. That's for sure. But anyway. So back to this. I hope you enjoyed my little, it was a story. It's part of storytelling. It was part of entertainment. I wasn't complaining. I was hoping that maybe you would enjoy this and somehow relate that more so than ever, as we grow older, things like this are going to come up and we're going to have to be creative as to how we handle them. Little things. Don't get upset. Everything will work out most of the time. Just take care of your health. And I don't know what to say. But as they say, the best laid plans of mice and men, it's just not going to always work out. Thanks so much, my friends, for sticking with us and enjoying it. We're still in that syndrome of subs going down and then up a few and down and down a bunch and up a bunch. I don't know what's going on with the subs. At the same time, my viewership is going up. The time that you spend on the videos is going up. I don't know what, a lot of people, I guess, are talking about this. So please share and let's try and drive the subscribers up a little bit more. I don't know, just to maybe make me feel a little better. Moosey and I so appreciate all of you for supporting us, for enjoying, for the little tips and things you give me. But do know that we're both handling everything okay. And when we can handle it, thank the Lord, we have this wonderful family that will just, in a minute, be here for us. So don't worry about us. Goodbye for now. Love you to pieces, and God bless us all.